Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a box opening, and it's a game that I was lucky enough to go ahead and do a lot of play testing on, and really one of the funner play tests I think I've done. And this would be the new fighting formation, and this is the US 29th Infantry Division. Now they do have a another fighting formation, which is the first one. This is the latest release, just came out by GMT. It's by Chad Jensen, and a lot of the work was done by Chad Jensen, his wife, and it's really a fantastic game. And when we look over the back here, well, let's just let's go ahead and change cameras here and get that so that we can see the back here. Now we do have a lot of maps in this game, which you know, almost each situation has a different map, a bunch of different playing pieces, add-on. These are little damage tokens, which you are going to hate. We have bunkers, we have all kinds of fortifications. We have cards that we use in the game that you can play out that give you added benefits. But I'm not going to read this whole thing. I mean, you know, I know everybody does. I'm not going to. You're going to see everything in a minute anyway. So, but we will talk about it's for ages 14 up, 2-player, about 2 to 3 hours. I would say that it took us a little bit more than 2 to 3 hours in some games because, you know, you're just learning them. Some of them are rather large. I guess once you learn learn how to work through everything, it would go much faster between two people who've played the game a number of times. Complexity is a 6. Solitary suitability is a 5. Now, game design was, again, like I said, by Chad Jensen. Developers are Chad Jensen and John Foley, and scenario design John Foley. So I hope I'm saying your name right, John, and I apologize if I'm not. So let's open up the box, and of course it's a GMT box, so you know that they're relatively tight and always interesting to open up. So the first thing we start out with is we have a series rule book, and this is the same instructions that were in game number 1. The core rules, I guess you'd call it, the mechanics, the sequence of play, fate cards. Also gives you some of the terrain features here and how they work. And vehicles and columns here. We have spotting rules, barrage, abandoned guns and vehicles, what you can do with them, terrain modifiers. So the rules are not really too bad. I mean, you know, deploying and mustering, basically just converting 3 to 1 to 1 to 3. You have assets here. You have direct fire attack, melee attack, and you have your attack dice. This game uses an unusual attack arrangement. Instead of having an odds table, use different dice. So you can use a 6-sided, 8-sided, 10-sided, 12-sided, and 20-sided dice here. Again, we have melee, rate of fire. We have spent counters. When you fire with opportunity fire, which you do have in this game, you can use up your ammunition. And so we have about 25 pages of rules here. Rather big print too, so you can read through this relatively fast. I mean, this is really easy to read through. We have a player aid here, which you will also see one, and we have a terrain chart here in case you lose your player aid. You have that on the back here. And summary of order, the order that everything goes in. And then from here we have what's called the Playbook, and this Playbook is for the 29th Infantry Division, and it specifically deals with the Americans. They have white phosphorus, for example. They have Piper Cub for air support and spotting. They have bocage on this area here. Fields. They have different types of units, which talks about their special abilities, especially flamethrowers here. And then you get into the cards, and it talks about each card, so that if you read on the card and you're not quite sure exactly what it means, you can look here and see exactly what the card is telling you to do. And these cards are called assets, and they some of them are really, really good. Some of them help defend and attack, and some can be played at any time. So events during play, and then here we come into order of battle. So you basically have 15 pages. Again, a rather quick read through on these pages. It's not bogging you down at all, I would say. So order of battle here. We have historical notes, which I have not read yet because I just got the game, so I will be reading this, and this wasn't really available for us to read when we were play testing, so I'm looking forward to reading this. And then, of course, at the end here, I'm sure we have, yes, scenario designs here, and how they designed it, and then they have sources and suggested reading credits here. And what else we have on this? Index and summary of order again. Now this book is really fantastic. I actually did get a chance to, I looked at this book last night, and this has all kinds of examples of play. Really, really great book to help you get into the game and understand what everything does. And maybe on the channel we'll go through each of these. But excellent explanations on how everything works, how they attack, what you do. It's just a well done example of play, and it covers almost everything that you're going to encounter in the game. So book really worth reading. I would suggest that you play it once and then read this book, or you can read it before, which is what I always do, and then play the game and then read it again. It has some really, really good information. Then we come on to our scenarios here, and each scenario has a different setup. Scenario 0 tells you the map that you're going to use. It tells you how many turns you're going to have, a sniper marker, which is important. I'm not going to get into all that on this, but the sniper helps you eliminate a lot of the commands there, the mission commands. You got the initiative pawn. It tells you what side it's on. VP markers, order cubes, what order you're going to put them in, and command radius marker, how far out your command extends to your guys, which helps you move them for 0 cost. And again, as you go through all these, you see the scenario, it will always give you the map number, and you will have different maps for each scenario. And the nice thing about the map is the map has the victory conditions on there generally, and the objectives. And it will have the objectives highlighted on the maps to show you what you're going for. So that's really nice. And these are all of our different scenarios. And I think you have 13 of them, maybe 14. Yeah, 13 of them. And again, they start out with the, who you have to start with, any reinforcements, when they will come in, on what turn, and so forth. Let's see if we have one that shows us. Yes, the start and the 11th turn start. And this game goes to 14 turns. It starts at number 9 to 14. So, and again, another summary of order. And here we have the first of our cards here. I'm sorry, I don't know why I turned it upside down. The first of our cards here. And this doesn't have a regular combat table. This has one that you look up what is attacking and what is defending. And then you look up the number here, and this number you add to each piece, and then you roll a dice to see if you can beat that number. This is a barrage grid for mortars and air attacks. On the back here we have sighting markers and fortifications here. You have all kinds of them, including bunkers, pillboxes, entrenchments. You have a fire arc with any of the armored units. Most of the armored units has a fire arc, which is firing in front or firing behind. There's some deductions there, and then some just have to fire in front, so you have to actually turn it around in order to have it fire another direction. Special actions, direct fire attack there. This thing we'll look at it in a sec. Then again, here is the German table, attacking German units, target US units, attacking US, target German. And again, you cross-index who you're attacking, like an engineer, if he was attacking a rifle company, you come down here to engineer and you see 8. So you have to roll a die that's going to beat that 8, what the person has to beat. And you can see that you have 2d6, 2d8, 2d10s, which is where you start, 2d12s, and 2d20s. And depending on determination for it, it will increase or decrease the dice that you're going to roll to give you better odds to get the higher numbers. All right, so this piece here, goes at the top of all the maps that you play, and this is, you basically are playing 2 different games. You're playing this top part of the game here, where you're going to have a piece go back and forth, which is going to tell you how many turns or how much you can use of these blocks here. So if you want to do an advance, you have to pull a block from 5 or above. So if there's no 5 available sitting there, you have to pull one from 7. And again, this is the whole game mechanics that I'm not going to get into, but it's really cool because you have to strategize the blocks that you have, how you're going to use them, and each side has different things here. Like if you look here, an assault here is 7 for the US, but it's only a 5 for the Germans. So they only need 5 and below, or 5 and above for the assault, whereas the Americans need 7 and above for an assault. Command control track tells you how far out your command is from your mission pieces, and their available commands are put here. You have these command pieces, and once you lay them out on the map, you have so many hexes out that they work for. You have air support, sniper, and this is the time track here. And same thing on the back side, it looks like. Yes. So this is really the cool thing about this game is that you play this part here, and then you also play your normal hex encounter type game. So we have a number of sheets here, and let me see if I can get a little bit closer here. Look at that. So here are some of the pieces, and these are the US, and of course they flip over, so you have the active side when they're fighting, and you have the movement side here. And we have other various counters here, the entrenchments here. These are basically going to tell you what you draw when you get hit. So these are your hit markers here. And we have this one here. And again, some more American vehicles and markers. And some more here. And the cool thing is that a lot of these infantry, you have single units, and then you have company units, which have 3 of them. So they can fit together. I believe it's called company. I could be wrong on it. Here is your German units right here. And your spent markers when you fire on opportunity fire and use up your ammunition, you put that there. Here are your mission commands right there, and these are the markers that you put down to go out so many hexes of the control that you have, so that when you send orders to it, doesn't cost you extra points. German infantry again, some tanks here, and again active side, and you can see that they're made so that you flip them over this way, is the way that they're designed. They find that that's a little bit easier when you're playing the game to do that. And here we have again some more German infantry and some vehicles here. And the back sides, oops, I almost popped that one out. And I should have flipped it over right. So they go like that. And then, boom, on over. Okay. Let's go back here. And we have a bunch of maps here that you can see. We'll look at those in a second. Plastic bags here. These are your asset cards that you, again, use. And you're going to use these to play. You have German assets and American assets. This is what's called a fate card. This moves back and forth and gives you little special abilities. I'm stimming to shake the camera there. But yeah, you can see the reaction. A reaction can be played at any time. So these are important cards to have. And you get so many of these at the start of the game. And then we have our little blocks that go in to tell you how much you're going to have to move this guy across the board there, and how many turns you can squeeze out of the number of movements that you have across the top. And of course you have a bag of different dice. You have your 20-sided, you have your 10-sided, you have your 8-sided, you have your 6-sided, and what is this one here? Oh, this is the 8, this is the 10, 20, and then 12-sided is that one? One of them is a 12-sided. It might be this one. This one's 12, this 10. But yeah, you roll them to decide how you're going to do stuff. So let's put these all back in here. And we're going to move this out of the way here. So the map, again, has map number 4 there. It tells you right at the top there. And let's see if I can fit these in. I think I can get most of these in. Some of them I'll have to move out a little wider. But yeah, so here are your maps right here, and it shows you U.S. entry A, U.S. entry B, which means that Germans are going to set up here. These are your key objectives right there. And then we roll on over. And again, each scenario has a different map, and you know, it shows where you're going to enter, what your objectives are, and you work across there to accomplish that. So we have one map there. Let's see. And again, you can see that it doesn't show any entry points, so maybe everything starts on this map for this particular scenario. It's interesting to see these maps because when we play, we test them on Vassal, so you don't get to lay out maps and see all the stuff that's here, and you don't have these starting points that are listed there. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, number 9 or 6, depending on which way you look at it. And I don't really see objectives on this one, so you're probably more of a, you probably have to accomplish some areas there where it has the B there. And the city, and this is pretty much just inner city fighting, so that's always a tough one to accomplish. So you have 2 different size maps. These first ones that we're looking at, these are the smaller maps. And here's map number 1. So this is the first start, and again, what you're supposed to achieve is taking over these points here, control of those points. And a lot of bocage there. Oh, that stuff is horrible to try and go through. So this is map number 3. And then now I believe we start getting into larger maps. I might have one more smaller map here. Let's see. There we go. All right, so we have a much larger map. This is twice the size of these previous maps here. So a lot of movement across here. This is map number 8. And this is the accomplish, what you have to accomplish. It's funny how much bigger this looks than it does on Vassal. And then coming across here. Now the nice thing is, you know, these have nice large hexes on them, so it's easy to maneuver and stack stuff in and see what you have stacked. So I really like that. And again, over here, and here, here, and here are our locations to, oh, one more there, to take over. And we have 115th unit, C 747 there, the 175th unit, A 747 there. And the lone tank over here apparently comes in. And again, it's really cool to see the maps actually, and how big they are. It really gives the game a little more size perspective, for me anyway. German entry over here, and looks like we're just going to do a lot of fighting in this town, I would imagine, because it would be wide open and a lot of hindrance here. And you also have hindrance when you shoot across a field or shoot across certain things. There's a hindrance where you have to have a die roll. One of your die has to be higher than that. That's like, it might be a 3, I think it's a 3 hindrance for this. So if you roll below a 3, the attack on either die, the attack is disqualified, doesn't go through. So both dies have to be above a 3, and that's where if you're rolling the larger number die, you have a better chance of getting above that 3. All right, so 6-sided dice, it's a 50-50 shot. And then our last one here, on this side at least, we have another variant, map number 2. So you get right into the large map on the using map number 2, and again some more bocage and fields, towns, and we do have blocks. You know, this if your line of sight goes through the town, it blocks it. If a certain building is on the white dot, that means you can't pass through there with vehicles, like right there. If I remember right, it's been a little while since I play tested this. And then this one here, I believe, is for the first game. And it has the player aid right up here, so that makes it easy to see that. It also has your play table right here, so that you have that right here that you can work with while you're playing on the map there. So you could, technically, you could fold it like this and play this game just like that. And that gives everything all in one place. You don't have to bring out that extra piece. And you can see that that's exactly the same as the other one that I was showing you, that you basically would put at the top of all these other maps there. So that is our last map. And again, I'll be doing a little more on this game later on. Let me get everything back here. So first thing I'm going to have to do is some counter clipping, of course, because those of you that know me know that I always clip my counters. That's what I do. And so I will do that to get them all ready for action. And then maybe after that we'll take and go ahead and make a holder for everything in here. So there is the Fighting Formations, the 29th Infantry Division. A quick look at that. I'm sure you'll agree. This is really a heavy box too. There's a lot of stuff in this box, which you just saw, and I'm really looking forward to playing these scenarios again. As a matter of fact, I already got a game set up with a good friend of mine to start playing them, and just a lot of fun. They were just a lot of fun, and I look forward to sharing that with you on the channel. And hopefully, if you like this, please do like and subscribe. You know, definitely like the video, and hopefully we'll see you soon. So, you know, try to tune in again, and we'll have more of this. This channel will go back and forth between, I like war games, and I also do some Warhammer. And so we're going to go back and forth there. But you'll know when you see the thumbnail which one it is, so you don't have to waste your time if you don't want to, not interested in Warhammer or not interested in war games. But I'm interested in both, so I'm going to share both of them with you. And I look forward to having you guys along again. Thanks for watching.